Here's a spoiler-free guide to the Chainsaw Man anime. What is up, guys? Welcome back to another edition of Raynami and yet another spoiler-free guide. This time I'm going to be talking about Chainsaw Man. Now, for those of you who are not aware, Chainsaw Man is a hugely popular manga written by Tatsuki Fujimoto, and the anime adaptation is premiering this October in a little less than a month. And let me just say, people are hyped for this anime. Hype is at an all-time high for Chainsaw Man, which is crazy to think about considering all the other heavy hitters that are premiering in October. My Hero Academia Season 6, Mob Psycho Season 3, Blue Lock, the new Gundam series, The Witch from Mercury, the prologue for that was awesome. The return of Bleach, the 1,000-Year Blood War arc. Now, I'm sure that you've probably seen some trailers for Chainsaw Man. It's being animated by MAPPA Studios, the same guys who do Jujutsu Kaisen and the last season of Attack on Titan. And if you haven't read the manga for Chainsaw Man, you're probably watching those trailers like, whoa, this looks sick, but I don't know what's going on. If you're one of those people, do not worry, I'm here to help you. I will provide you with everything that you need to know before you watch the Chainsaw Man anime coming out in October. So let's start off with the world of Chainsaw Man. Well, the world of Chainsaw Man is not so different from our own. It takes place in an alternate version of Japan. And while it's not specifically stated in the first couple of volumes of the manga, I believe it takes place someplace in the 90s. Because when you're reading through it, you'll notice that there's not a cell phone in sight, just people in the moment, fully enjoying life. There are a few key differences though. In this version of the world, the Soviet Union is still around, has not collapsed yet. And there are also supernatural beings that are walking around known as devils. Now, devils are the physical manifestation of a human fear. And I know that sounds a little abstract and weird, but it's actually very straightforward. So let's start with something simple. Humans are afraid of chainsaws. Therefore, there is a chainsaw devil somewhere in the world walking around. The chainsaw devil in this series is a very cute dog named Pochita. We'll get into him later. But Ray, the spectrum of human fear, covers quite a lot of things. You can be afraid of heights. You can be afraid of the future. There was that one girl on Mori that was afraid of cucumbers. And I will say they tackle a lot of different fears in the series. Very early on in the manga, you see the tomato devil just walking around. Another thing to know about devils is that they're basically immortal. They're born in hell, and then when they die in hell, they're reincarnated in the human world. And then once they die in the human world, they're sent back to hell. But every time they die and are reincarnated, their memories reset, and sometimes their personalities along with them. Devils also sort of operate like the demons in Demon Slayer. They have regenerative abilities, so if you cut the arm off a devil, if they suck on a human's blood, they can regenerate that arm. Beyond that, the more humans they consume and the more blood they consume, the more powerful they get. And also, the more people are afraid of that certain thing that they represent, the more powerful they're gonna be. So something like the bunny devil, okay, so not a lot of people are afraid of bunnies. That devil's probably gonna be pretty weak. Versus the hurricane devil, whoa, a lot of people are afraid of hurricanes. That devil's probably gonna be pretty strong. Another thing about devils is that they can form contracts with humans. They can basically say, hey, I'll let you use my power if you give me a little something something. That little something something could cover a lot of different things. It's open to interpretation and it's different based on each individual case. And once the devil is in a contract with a human, they are bound by the terms of that contract. They have to honor it or they'll die. So they can't make a contract with you and be like, hey, I'll let you use my power as long as you buy me a Big Mac with fries every Tuesday. And if the human keeps buying you a Big Mac with fries every Tuesday and you're like, man, I don't know, I'm not gonna give you my power, boom, you're dead or you're messed up. Now, of course, because there are these devils walking around, they're bloodthirsty, they have a taste for human blood, they have a taste for consuming humans. A profession has sprung up to combat the devils. They're simply known as devil hunters. Now, these are humans whose job it is, essentially, to go and hunt down devils and eliminate them. But if you haven't picked up on it yet, hunting devils is a very dangerous job. But it's also very lucrative. Even a low-level devil could be worth a lot of money, but again, very, very dangerous. That's why devil hunters, most of the time, in order to have the strength to fight these devils, make a pact with another devil. It's kind of like the enemy of my enemy is my friend, or it's like a necessary evil. In order to eliminate this devil, I'm gonna get the power of a devil. Now, there are two types of devil hunters. There's a group of devil hunters that are basically government funded. They're public devil hunters. They operate very similarly to how your local police department or fire department would. These guys, more often than not, usually take on the stronger devils. And then they have groups of private sector devil hunters. Next, let's talk about a different creature in the Chainsaw Man universe, a fiend. Now, a fiend is what happens when a devil takes over the corpse of a human. A lot of the times, fiends look just like you and me, regular humans, but there's something different about them. Maybe they got horns, maybe they got something sticking out of their ears. There's something that automatically tells you, okay, you're not a regular human, you are a fiend. Now, this is not an ideal situation if you're a devil. Usually this only happens when devils are backed into a corner. There's no other option for survival other than taking over the corpse of this human. One, because their powers as a devil are severely diminished as a fiend versus if they were just a straight up devil. Second, they lose the ability to make contracts with humans. Whenever a devil takes over a human corpse and becomes a fiend, usually they retain the personality they had as a devil. But in very rare cases, the memories of that human corpse that they took over can sometimes come into play. Last but not least, we gotta talk about hybrids. Now, a hybrid is a very, 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 very rare case wherein a devil and a human perfectly merge. If you're a fan of Naruto, if you watch Naruto, I would say it's very similar to a perfect Jinchuriki. Hybrids have the appearance of a human, and then they do something that basically turns them into a human devil hybrid. They gain all the powers of a devil, including regenerative abilities, including like insane power-ups. But again, hybrids are very, very rare in this story, but also a pivotal part of the story. We'll get into that later. Next up, let's talk about some of the characters that you've been seeing in these trailers, and I'll give you a quick rundown without giving any spoilers. So this is Denji. He is the main character of Chainsaw Man, and what you gotta know about this guy is that his life sucks. I don't know how else to put it. This guy's life sucks. And I know as anime fans, we've dealt with our fair share of backstories. No, his life probably doesn't suck as much as Guts from Berserk. Maybe not even as much as Naruto, who, his parents died, he was bullied by the village. We had to watch him on that stupid swing in every flashback. But damn, at least Naruto, he got to go to school. He lived in like a halfway decent studio apartment. He got money from the Hidden Leaf village to go and spend on ramen and other things. Whereas Denji grew up in absolute devastating poverty. Did not go to school, so there are things about his own world that he doesn't even know about. And then one day the Yakuza came up to him and were like, yo, someone you're related to racked up a massive gambling debt with us, and now it's your responsibility to pay it back. And if you don't, we're gonna kill you. So he's like, okay, I guess I gotta pay back this insane debt. I'll sell some body parts, I'll hunt devils, which like I said, is a very dangerous thing to do. And his poverty continues well into the start of the story, until into his teen years. He lives in an abandoned shack, no electricity, no water, and he eats trash. And I'm not talking about, oh, he has a poor diet, he eats a bunch of junk food. No, I'm talking he literally goes into a dumpster, finds anything with any nutritional value, and eats it. You know how these other anime protagonists, they have these big, lofty goals. Oh, I'm gonna be the Hokage. Oh, I'm gonna be the Wizard King. Oh, I'm gonna be the #1 hero. Denji's dreams, he's like, man, my life sucks. If only I could feel the touch of a woman. Specifically, if only I could feel boobs. That's all I ask for. And he also says, you know what? It would be nice if every once in a while I didn't have to eat trash. You know, it would be awesome if I had a nice bit of toast with jam on it. This guy isn't even daydreaming about feasting on like lobster or like having a nice steak dinner. No, he's like, my dream is to have jam on toast. The only redeeming part of this guy's life is his pet, Pochita, who, as I told you earlier, is the Chainsaw Devil. He is this very, very cute little dog with a chainsaw for a nose. And without giving anything away, Denji and Pochita eventually get very, very close. Wink. Now, if you were paying attention earlier, this relationship that Denji has with the Chainsaw Devil Pochita, that is not something that usually happens. Devils usually hate humans, they want to consume them, they want to drink their blood, and also, humans make it their business to kill every devil they see. It's basically on sight, as the kids would say. So devils have built up that animosity as well. They're like, you know what? All humans want is to kill devils, so let's just kill a bunch of them. So this relationship that Denji has with Pochita, very rare. Next up, let's talk about Aki. Now, Aki is this cool dude that you see in the trailer. If you watch Naruto, he's very similar to like a Sasuke Uchiha. If you watch Jujutsu Kaisen, he's very similar to Fushiguro. He's like that cool, serious type. Whereas Denji is a little bit more like Itadori in Jujutsu Kaisen. He's a little bit like Naruto. He's brash, he's crass. And Aki is the one that's like, no, you gotta be serious. You gotta take this serious. I'm serious. I'm cool. I'm dark. I'm brooding. I'm all of the above. And his main driving character, he is a devil hunter, and he joined up with the devil hunter to get revenge on a very specific devil. Sound familiar?
I'm going to restore my clan and destroy a certain someone.
And he has contracts with a couple of different devils. One is the fox devil, and that is a crazy moment in the trailer where you see that big fox, he's like, and he pops out of that building, he's like, I don't know how else to explain it. And then his second contract is actually very interesting. I won't get into that because that's kind of a spoiler. But all I will say is this cool shot that they have in the trailer where he's drawing his weapon out of that scabbard, that is a huge character moment for him. That's not just a cool shot of him drawing a sword or something. That is a major plot point for his character. So keep an eye out on that. Next up, let's talk about the girls of Chainsaw Man. Now that's probably what everyone has been waiting for. People are mad thirsty for these girls. I was at Anime Expo in LA when they brought up Makima and everyone started barking. I was like, barking? Couldn't be me, man. Couldn't be me. I mean, maybe? I don't know. First up, let's talk about Makima. Now, chances are you've seen some fan art of Makima floating around the internet. The internet is obsessed with Makima. She's a pretty high-ranking public devil hunter that runs a special team of devil hunters, experimental, if you will, that she eventually recruits Denji into. And dang, people are like real thirsty for this girl, man. They are real thirsty. And yeah, I sort of get it. She uses her womanly charms to kind of flirt with different people in order to further her own means, get what she wants, manipulate them, if you will. But she also has this other side of her that's very domineering, very forceful, very, if you don't do this, I'm gonna kill you. Very mysterious. Makima is a very mysterious character. She's one of those people where it's like, she always kind of has some sort of agenda that she's working on. And even through the first 3 volumes, you can't quite figure it out. Makima has like this magnetic personality that just draws people into her. Instantly, Denji is like obsessed with her. He's in love with her. He'll do anything for her. And also Aki is, for some reason, very indebted to her. Himeno will sometimes tease him like, oh, you're in love with Makima, you're in love with Makima, everyone's in love with Makima. But yeah, there's something different about Makima. Again, I'm not gonna spoil it because that will go against the spoiler-free guide, but there's something different about Makima. Next up, let's talk about Power. Now, Power is a fiend. Like I was telling you earlier, she is the blood devil that took over the corpse of a human girl. And what is there to say about Power, man? What is there to say about Power? It's so funny. She is, I wouldn't even know how to describe her. She's like a gremlin, like kind of, I don't even know. She is a part of that devil hunting team that I told you about earlier, led by Makima. She's on the same team as Denji, Aki, and a couple of others. And basically, the only reason that she's allowed to live is because she works with the devil hunters. Otherwise, Makima was like, I'm gonna kill you. The volume 3 of Chainsaw Man sums it up perfectly. They have a little blurb about her at the end that, I mean, it's just a perfect description. Number 1, she's a pathological liar. She's always lying. She can literally be like, yo, that thing is red. And you're like, what are you talking about? That thing is blue. And then she'll be like, that's what I said. I said blue. Number 2, she's a show-off. She has a huge ego, super inflated idea of how powerful she is, and always wants to show off her abilities. Number 3, she's a show-off, but she's actually a scaredy cat. Number 4, she'll use your loyalty cards without asking. Number 5, she's a racist. But she basically hates all humans. She thinks that they all should just die. Number 6, she'll drink your blood on the sly. Number 7, she loves to kill bugs. And number 8, she's cute and she knows it. Last character I'll talk about is Himeno. Now Himeno is also a public devil hunter, and she was partnered up with Aki after all of her other partners died. At this point, she's considered a veteran devil hunter. She's a little bit older than Aki and Denji. Why does she have an eye patch? Well, I'm glad you asked. That's part of the contract that she made with her specific devil. She said, hey, I'll give you my eye if you let me use some of your power. And the devil was like, bet, let's do it. She's shown to care very deeply about Aki and his well-being. Overall, she has shown to have a very friendly and caring demeanor, but her work as a devil hunter, she can be very blunt and efficient, willing to do whatever it takes in order to complete the mission. Anyways, guys, that concludes my spoiler-free guide for Chainsaw Man. The series will be premiering on October 11th. It will be simulcast on Crunchyroll, so as soon as they premiere it in Japan, it's going to be added to Crunchyroll for streaming. If you want more spoiler-free guides, if you want more anime content, make sure you like this video and you subscribe to Raynami, set your notifications to all, so you get notified first whenever I post a video.